Alright, just as a sort of prelude, this I think this is the third time I invaded this particular group, and it changed a lot over time. Um, I did not have my microphone on me when I did this invasion, which was, oh my god, unfortunate. But this group, and this is the main two, the host here and the Black Knight Sword Phantom. I'm just playing this so you guys can have a little bit of the prelude. Anyway, this is the third time I think on this particular time you're watching. This is the third time I had invaded them. They weren't ganking; they were just progressing through the level. Now, by this point in the video, I had already killed a blue sentinel or a dark moon, one or the other, and maybe a phantom as well. I don't know. Uh, this is one of the times they got me, and this was one of the most fun invasions I've had in a long time. So, Black Knight sword guy is one of my. This guy's awesome, and host wasn't too bad either, but he's a little cocky. But anyway, you can see us dancing around here, and they're trying to deal with the Fire Witch and me at the same time. I thought I had the white. I thought I had the Phantom right there. I didn't, and that mistake is all it took. That totally turned the tides of this, and it went from being like a boom, almost better than the riposte because you get two at once. And then you get the point down from the host. No hard feelings. But the Phantom there dropped me a very good stone and gave me a bow, so not all was lost. And so this was, I think, round 4 maybe. I'm not sure. Right after the parry kill that they got, I invaded right back into the same world. Uh, Now I knew I was alone because it was like immediate. I got killed. I used my red eye, and I was immediately back in their world. So I knew there was no other invader in the world. So I equipped my obscuring ring, and I kind of ran over here to this corner to see what they're doing. Here in just a second, I see one of their health bars flash over to my left, indicating that they're down closer to the water. So I take off. Another thing, during these videos, you've been seeing me use the Lothric Knight Sword. In this one, I've done like several invasions, and I'm sure I'll post some more of them. But I've just been using Goddard's just so I can post kind of, because I don't use it a lot in the videos previously. So I've been leaning on it a little more heavily. And I know it's like meta as fuck, and just an all-around awesome weapon. But in all honesty, outside of it having the extra range, it's got less damage than the Lothric Knight Sword. Yeah, it's got the sweet two-handed move set, but everything's parryable on it. You can parry any of that shit. And it does less damage. Plus, you don't get the cool weapon arts that the Lothric Knight Sword has, the shield break and the rundown uppercut. So I know they're this way. I heard this Irithyll slave over here scream, and she only screams if they get close enough to her. So a blue moon gets summoned. So see these her soul mass thing go off. So I know that they're in range of it, but they never get any closer than this. But I've got the silver cat equipped just for this fall. I see them going towards the water right there, so I just go ahead and drop down. Switch back to the hornet ring, I think is what that was. I didn't really see it. Now, I'm not going to fight them in that water. There's no way I'm doing a freaking 4v1 in the water. I am not Schwa Akari. That is not happening. So I decided to set my ambush up a little farther down the line. I am wearing the obscuring ring right now. I think I was. Jeez, I hope I was. That might have been the ring swap I did. Anyway, this water's slow moving, so I'm gonna just chuck fire bombs at them, not aim them at all because I'm terrible at it. I'm really not, but I was on this particular occasion. I kind of give up right here. I'm just like, yeah, screw it. I'm not hitting them with anything, and they're starting to throw stuff back. So the little spider ladies wake up the little shit-eating mud bugs, whatever the hell those things are. I see the host here, and I'm like, okay, well, I can get a good R2 off. Now, he's really parry happy. You'll see right there, he goes for the parry. And he goes for another one, so he gets a backstab for it. And just playing, you know, I give him a little sarcastic clap. Uh, he'd been giving me fingers. He'd been giving me the point down every time he killed me. I mean, it's no hard feelings. It's just a game. Uh, but it was, you know, definitely some added salt to the wound, if you will. Uh, Pun intended. So I bring him into the Silver Knight room. This guy's smart. He's going to go ahead and take out the Silver Knight so I don't have any backup. So I try and run him away from the Silver Knight, and then I can immediately turn my attention back to the main party. And I've got the Silver Knight up top dropping arrows as a bit of a distraction, but he's not hitting shit, it doesn't look like. You got to keep in mind, when this was in progress, I wasn't paying attention to anything outside of my immediate surroundings. I've been having a rough patch of parrying running attacks on ultra weapons because the people keep like aiming them all freaking sideways, and I don't know. So I just didn't even attempt it there. Get some damage in while they're beating up on this Silver Knight here. It wasn't a lot, but it was better than nothing. And at that point, I should get something in. Yeah, I do have Obscuring Ring equipped. So I go to the Silver Cat and the Chloranthy because I'm not going to keep my health at full for this whole thing, and I know it. Get the White Knight with a double butt poke there. The Dragon Slayer hammer caught me as I was coming down, but it didn't do like a whole hell of a lot of damage. Trying a little turn and burn, but I couldn't stop his poise. His hyper armor. He was already in the animation. Now, this was, I don't know, kind of a mistake on their part, I think. This is what helps me win this this round. The blue comes back, and it's just the blue at first, and then here comes Ultra Great Hammer guy. Now, he makes the mistake of running straight into that hallway, and then the blue keeps him trapped, and there's nowhere for him to go. So I applaud the blue for getting his friend killed. And then the blue is also in the hallways, and I've got all these awesome thrust attacks, so I can just keep doing that. But he gets me with one as well, so all's fair. And we're just kind of keeping the battle in this hallway, so you've only got one attack you can use with your sword. So I get the rolling L1 there, and then the spin attack. Somehow the host manages to get behind me. That parry animation puts him behind me. So he catches a backstab, and the blue tries to block me in there, which would have worked great. But the animation for the backstab threw me out. The white lets me get past, and I'll be totally honest with you, I'm not entirely sure that wasn't on purpose. I think he might have been feeling bad for me at this point. But he lets me get through, so I managed to make my escape. Set up another ambush up here. Get the firebombs ready. Love those things. Alright, now I know the dogs will spawn here, and they're not really dogs, by the way. They have human heads. I don't know if anybody's noticed that, but as someone who invades a lot, I can take the time to actually check them out. Yeah, they have human heads. I keep going against the damn hyper armor of these great swords, man, because I'm just playing like crap at this point. All I want to do is kill this blue. I just feel like if I can kill this blue, then there will be some hope. So we get him with a firebomb, and the Irithyll Slave hits him with whatever spell that is. Farron Dart, maybe? I don't know what the hell that is. And again, I'm just chucking firebombs, and the weak ones at that, not even the good ones. Now the white Phantom is playing it smart. He's throwing alluring skulls everywhere, so the dogs keep running to him, buying them some space and some time. I am checking my inventory out, making sure I've got, some Estus left, so that when I engage these guys, I can make mistakes, and that not be the last mistake I make. So at this point, I've got 2 Estus. I'm getting really, I'm being very conservative with them. Should have parried that. Can't get over it. I didn't. But the reason I didn't is because in the first fight, the first time I invaded these guys, he rolled at me like that, and I parried, and he didn't R1. He just waited until he landed, and then he did a regular R1 and killed me. And then he parried over my corpse to make fun of me. So I was, he got in my head. I was a little hesitant. The blue at this point has no more Estus. And I can tell, you can tell, I can tell right there, because I realize he's not going to come up here. So I'm just chucking firebombs at him. And remember earlier I said I wasn't bad at doing it free-handed. And I will prove to you that I'm not right here. I see him all the way down there. Watch this. That was a good one. Come on, you got to give me that one. So at this point, I'm pretty sure they've both dropped down. They hadn't. The white was sitting there doing something with his inventory. Or he was planning a sneak attack and he just missed me as I ran by. The blue is just trying to stay alive. Oh, the rolling L1 gets him. I get smacked twice from a great sword. Totally worth it because it gets rid of one player and I get the Estus back, so it was basically just a free hit. Here comes the host up top, which I expected. Now these Erythil slaves are mad. I was expecting the Phantom to also come up this ladder, so I was going to equip Silver Cat, drop down the ladder, and hit him with a plunging attack. But then I look over here just to make sure that he was down there, and instead I see him over here killing the Erythil slaves. So, trying to decide what to do here. I'm out of fire bombs. Running low on Estus. Right there, I was checking to see if he would swing twice, because he usually doesn't. If he swings twice, I can parry that second R1. I can block the first and parry the second. Like a total noob, I run over there and try and swipe at him while he's in a backstab animation. What I'd actually meant to do was stab the host, or slash at the host, but get you one. Here comes the Scythe Pontiff Knight. That didn't hit. I couldn't believe it, but that did. So I've got 2 Estus left. I'm like, okay, go ahead and put one on, and I've got to do damage now. So I equip the Lloyd Sword Ring. Go for the parry. He didn't attack twice. Get him with the poke, and he misses me. Now at this point, you see how the host is just laying back? They're out of Estus, and this was the point when I realized that either they were out of Estus or they were very, very low. So I'm trying to get rid of this Phantom, and he's got Tears of Denial on, so I know I'm going to have to proc that before I can do it. And now most tank melee kind of characters, they don't bother equipping, boom, they don't bother equipping an Ashen Estus Flask. So once their Tears pops, that's it, they're done. They don't have any more. So, but he's back to full health, and I'm out of Estus Flasks, as you can see. R1, R1, R2, R2, R1, R1, he's rolling R1, jump attack, misses. That host loved their jump attacks. And I wanted this one so bad, man. You gotta remember these guys had beat me like 4 times. So I was really wanting it. Tried to surprise him, break the Tears. Instead of rolling R1, I did a rolling L1, I did rolling L2. There's the rolling L1 for the kill. And the white congratulates me, gives me the very good, and I finally get to give the host a point down. Finally. Awesome invasion. It's one of those ones where it's like a real experience because it feels like you're this constant nuisance that progresses through the level with the host and his party. Nothing like it. Just awesome.